Alright, so the CL100, such a tiny little bike. The front wheel's so narrow that I had to add wood spacers in there to clamp that in. Since the center stand's removed, I've got the jack under that to get the back tire up, which is not over the removable plate because the bike's so short. So on this one, if I want to remove the back tire, I'm going to have to move the wheel clamp back, move the straps back. That's by the way, I set another set of strap points further forward, so it holds it forward into the clamp instead of trying to pull it back out of the clamp. Make it just that little bit more stable. Anyway, so I can move the straps back, move the clamp back, move the whole bike back to get it over the removable plate to drop the rear wheel easily if I want to. But anyway, I'm just going to kind of start stripping it down a little. It's running really good, but the battery's not any good. It won't. Did a draw test on it, and it voltage just drops down to nothing immediately. So I really need a good new 6-volt battery if I'm going to stay with that setup. And I need to put LED lights in the turn signals and tail and brake at least, because if you have to sit at a stoplight for any length of time with, nowadays you have to have the headlight on all the time. With the headlight on and the turn signal on, the battery drops down so that every time when you try and pull away from the light, it will die every time the turn signal light comes on, because it drops the voltage so much. So anyway, I need to figure out that situation out. And it's leaking oil really bad right now out of the head gasket here and the cylinder base gasket right there, all down the front of the engine. So really, it's probably about time to go ahead and just strip it down, pull the engine out, and start playing with it. I need to build an engine stand. I've got an idea in my head. I want to make it universal so that I can mount this engine in it, mount my 450 engines in it, and be able to, if I need to, mount the Sportster engine in it. So I need it to be long enough so that the Sportster engine transmission assembly can get into it. And I want to be able to have it so I can pivot the engines 90 degrees at least. I don't necessarily need to have them completely upside down, but I want to be able to have enough room so that I can get them on their sides in case that makes it easier to get pieces on. I don't know that it ever will, but put that feature in there just in case, I think. So anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm going to set this camera down somewhere where I can get a decent view, and I'm just going to start pulling bits and pieces off of it. I've already taken the bolts out of the back before I even thought to get the camera out, so out of the rear seat mounts. I'm going to see where I can set this to get a decent view. Oh yeah, we had as soon as I got out here, it started to hail. So I threw the tarp over the back of the bikes to make sure it didn't ding them up at all. But it wasn't too bad. It was little tiny stuff. But anyway, kind of making my shop crowded at the moment. Let's see what we can find for a location for this. Strap holds the tank down. Busted. Need to be replaced. So instead of the hose coming off the barb came out of its pressed fit in the petcock there. That's handy. Alright, so this is the foot pedal kickstand assembly. It was missing one bolt completely back here, and this foot pedal here is fractured. Obviously, I knew it was bent down, but up until I looked at it before, and it was not cracked yet. But now it is. So evidently the last couple of times I was out riding, I must have put too much weight on it. So that'll need to be either repaired or replaced. Completely twisted. This bike had obviously been down on one side. Turn signals have been replaced. That one up there on the front has been shortened. The tank. There's a nice dent right in there, and the whole front part has been caved, almost like it managed to tip forward and slam into the neck. Along with numerous dings down this side from being dropped at different times. Both of these rear turn signal stocks, or turn signal ends, are replacements, and the old stocks were ground down so that they would fit because they weren't the right size. Like I said, at first glance on camera, it doesn't look too bad, but there is very little on this bike that is original in good shape. There's huge chunks of missing chrome on the wheels and pits, and all the aluminum's corroded and the paint's wearing off. Fender's pretty badly rusted. Hit it up here. The exhaust is old and rotted out. Keep having to weld it together. All in all, it was in really rough shape. Hence the reason it was only $200.